Hi, this is Angel Jones. I love great conversations where life's journey is communicated not only through words, but tones and emotions. Explosive expressions that allow you to feel what they felt and learned. A fool learns only from his own mistake, while the wise learn from their own and from those others have made. Thanks for being here with us. Good day, Rachna, Jain. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm excellent, actually. Pretty excellent. Yeah.
Good.
Thanks for asking. So tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us meeting?
Probably my online marketing talents. I had heard about your podcast through a colleague of mine, and so through that, I signed up to be part of the process.
Yeah, love that. I'm really glad you did that. So, dig deeper into what you do via your marketing company, please.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I do is I help people build more profitable internet businesses, and I help them build their online platforms as well. So if somebody, let's say, is writing a book and they want to build an audience for that book, I would help them do that through various online marketing and social media processes.
Interesting. Now I'm seeing here that clinical psychology. Ooh, you did a 360, didn't you?
Yeah, I did actually. It's very different. I have a doctorate in clinical psychology, and I actually use psychology quite a lot in marketing. But
Of
yes, it's
course.
very different than what I studied for.
Amazing. What made you make that decision to switch?
Yeah, so I started marketing online in about 2001, which was pretty much the start of the internet. And I started doing that to actually grow my psychology practice, which I had for a few years. And because I was too shy to go out and meet people and network, I started to practice online marketing because that let me attract clients without having to go out and meet people. Um, and so I realized though that it was something that I really enjoyed. And so in 2003, people started approaching me and asking me to do the work for them. And so I started this business in 2003 and realized that it's a lot of fun. It's great because I get to be part of technology. I get to help create influence in a much broader way than working one-to-one as a psychologist. And so that was how I made the switch.
Oh, wonderful. It seems as though you're having fun.
Yeah, it is. It is fantastic. I mean, it is amazing from, where the internet was when I first started, which makes me sound, really, really old, but where the internet was, just about 15 years ago to where it is now. It's really amazing. And the capacity to create reach and the capacity to meet people. I mean, like even you and I, like 10 years ago, we would have had no way to meet each other. And here
Yeah.
we are having a conversation.
Yeah.
So
We could
that,
have met, but it would have been something like because the internet speed would have been so low, right?
right, exactly. Right. We would still be saying hello at this point. We would still be
Exactly,
having
right?
the first minute of our conversation right now. Exactly.
Yeah. And I've had that. Do you remember ICQ, Rachna?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I
those
do
were the
remember.
days, right?
Yeah,
Uh, I
exactly.
remember
Yes,
seeing that the petals on the flower spinning like Skype does now,
exactly.
right? And
Right,
spinning.
exactly like Skype does now. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of work still to do.
And
So
then there are people who refer to cassette tapes. I guess we're sounding like that right now.
yes,
Um,
I think so.
that's amazing. So why will you continue to repeat this skill, Rachna?
Because it's so powerful. I mean, you can meet people that you wouldn't really have had a chance to meet. You are able to create influence and affect change worldwide.
Mm,
Just sitting from your house. And
yes.
so the power of that is something that I'm always in awe of and have a lot of respect for. Um, and it's really fun. Many times people that I work with have goals or dreams that they've had since they were little, and they want to have a best-selling book, or they want to become seen as a celebrity or an expert in their field. And so it's fantastic to have a chance to help people realize their dreams that way.
Yeah, it is. It is. It gives you a sense of enlightenment, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. And a sense of satisfaction, really,
Yes. Well, share with us one other thing that you've done consistently over the past 3 years, please.
Yeah, so there's actually a couple things I do really consistently. One of the things that I've done consistently over the past 3 years is I'm a jewelry designer, and
Wow.
so I make jewelry as it started out as a hobby, but now I actually sell my jewelry. So that is something that I've been devoting myself to increasingly. I started about 6 years ago, but in the past 3 years, it's been very much a part of my life.
How can we find that?
If you go, I have a website. It's called jewelsbyrachna.com, and you can see my jewelry there. I also do photography, and so I have my photography there as well.
Wow. Talk about a one-stop shop.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Exactly. Everything you need in just one place. So
This is wonderful. How does it make you feel?
I love it. I love it. It gives me a chance to express my creativity. It gives me a chance to explore new techniques and new media. It keeps me kind of agile that way. It helps me combine new ideas. And I really love the idea of creating beautiful things that other people will have and wear.
Wonderful. Why would you suggest someone do what you've done? I mean, you've gone 360 from clinical psychology, and while you're still using the tools, right? You've definitely created a life where you are really harnessing everything to your full potential. Why would you suggest someone do that?
Well, I think that that's really what we're here for. I mean, I think that that's sort of the ideal that we all aspire to, that we want to be as fully ourselves. And so there can be a lot of challenges in that. Like I've had to overcome a lot of stereotypes around being, an Indian woman. And, I went to I didn't go to an extremely traditional path, but I went to higher education, and then to be shifting away from that and doing marketing, and then and now doing jewelry and photography. There's been a lot of kind of points where like my family hasn't understood, and, people around me who I went to school with are not sure what I'm doing. And so, I think there's a lot of struggle in it, but there's a lot of value in it. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot more fulfilled. I feel like I'm getting to express like who I am and why I'm here, which I feel like is really kind of the ultimate joy of being able to live your life in a particular way.
Love it. Well, we're having fun here. Let's have some more fun, and let's switch gears, and let me invite you now into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Rachna,
All right.
What is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is actually probably when I was in India, and I went to India when I was about 6 months old, and I remember playing ball with somebody in the street there, and it was a boy who was older than me. I must have been about 2 years old, and he took my ball. So he got the ball to him, and then he put his foot on it, and he wouldn't give it back to me. And I remember walking up the dirt road, and I confronted him to get my ball back, and he gave it back to me because I asked. And so that's my earliest memory. And I must have been maybe, like I said, 2 years old and probably 1 foot high.
Wow.
And he was definitely 8 or 9 years old, I think. And so that was my earliest memory of kind of going up and asking for that ball back. So
Amazing. Do you remember the color of that ball?
yeah, the ball was a red. It was kind of a faded red.
Yeah.
A faded red ball.
I love the thought image that you created in my mind. I would interpret it, for me, it's beautiful in that I think red can be designed or painted as passion, and it's good to know that you, Rachna, have taken your passion back and, owned it, and now you're walking that life.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say so. And I think, too, that is probably also around being independent and being able to follow to go for what you want, which I think have also been important elements for me in my life.
Exactly. So that was actually your natural element, right? You just needed to reconnect to it, and you did
Yes.
that. Yeah, in spite of what others said, right? You just went and you said, "Give me back my ball."
That's right. Exactly.
And that is what it takes in this life now. It takes that boldness to to go after your dreams.
Yes, definitely.
If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Probably, I think my favorite song, that would have been like in the early 80s. And so my favorite song then would have been by a group called Wham. And it was Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
All right, there we go. Wake me up before you go go. It's all connecting here.
That's right, exactly. Give me back my ball and wake me up before you go go.
Exactly.
Wake me up before you go go, 'cause I'm not planning on going solo. Wake me up.
All right, my friend, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. Rachna, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No, not usually.
All right. What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it
Oh
more
yeah,
than...
yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot. Probably 8 or 9 hours a day.
All right. Rachna, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yeah, I think what I'd like to share is the idea that, follow your passions and express your creativity and live the life that you are here to live.
Beautiful. Rachna Jain, thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thanks so much.
Amazing audience, before you leave, there's one person I'd like to introduce you to, Amanda Jones. She is my wife and her passion is to educate, encourage, and empower.
Hi, I'm Amanda Jones and I'm a registered nurse. Do you or someone you know have diabetes? According to the International Diabetes Federation, in 2015 worldwide, 415 million people were living with diabetes. Just as that figure is overwhelming, so too can the effects of diabetes be. So, to help simplify diabetes for both adult and child, I've used rhymes in my books, The ABCs of Diabetes for Children, and Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes. At its simplest, rhymes help us to remember. If you, a child or friend, want an easy, reader-friendly way to know about diabetes, then get a copy of these books. For more details, you can go to poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.